What's up and welcome, I'm the one and only West Coast King, and welcome back to Major League 90, where we are talking Major League Soccer, and we're continuing our sort of mid-season recap of the MLS teams. Yesterday we talked about the Eastern Conference, so if you missed that episode, make sure you go and check that out. But today, we are moving on to the Western Conference, where the big dogs play, at least right now. The Western Conference, I think we can all agree, is a little bit stronger. The teams tend to be a little bit more consistent, if anything else. I keep saying consistency, but that's a big thing in the MLS. So number one, we have the Colorado Rapids. Again, another team, no idea they were going to be this good. I picked them to finish again 7th or 8th, just like Philadelphia. But they definitely have proved me wrong. I admit when I'm wrong, I was wrong. I thought the Jermaine Jones pickup was just a publicity stunt. Didn't think he was going to help a team that looked like they were lacking offensively. And they aren't the best offensive team. They are not, but they're the best defensive team by a long shot. And you can't say that Jermaine Jones doesn't have something to do with that. He still has it. He is still a freaking beast in the midfield, both for Colorado. And take a look what he's doing right now for the U.S. national team. By all means, the best player right now, in my opinion, at least last game, the best player on the team. Right now, I would give him my vote for league MVP. He's been that good, despite the fact that he missed the first 6 games. Colorado is in first place. He's the best person. He's the best player on that team, and he's being the most consistent player throughout the season. I just think Colorado definitely are going to be a contender this year. In the number 2 spot, we have FC Dallas, the team that I picked to win the Supporter Shield. And I do still think that they could do that. I think it's going to come down to Colorado and FC Dallas. I know it's kind of not very original picking the top 2 teams right now in the MLS to go after the Supporter Shield, but I think that those are the best teams right now. I do think that those are the best 2 teams in the league. I mean, you can't deny that the Rapids are amazing defensively, and FC Dallas are going to outscore almost anyone they play against. The only thing with FC Dallas is that, again, like I said before, you can't say for a fact that they are the best team in the league, despite being tied for the most points. You cannot give them the crown of the best team when they have losses of, I think, 5-0 and 4-0 on their record. They have lapses sometimes. You never know when that's going to show up, what kind of performance you're going to get out of that team. And for that reason, they might still have a problem. They might still be in trouble, especially in playoff time when one bad performance will knock you out. It's hard to pick Dallas and say they're the best team right now. Coming in the number 3 spot is Real Salt Lake, and another team that I didn't anticipate being that good. I thought they could be a playoff team, but more around a 5 or 6 seed. They're at number 3 right now, and they're just another team that just is playing consistent. They keep going out, they keep getting their points. The only team to have not dropped a single point at home. They're 4-0-0 at home this season, really kind of riding that to a lot of success early on. But I don't think it's something that will change. I still think that they're just one of the most consistent teams in the league. They continue to go about their business. Not really anything flashy, but not giving up a lot of points either. I think they'll be a playoff team this year. In at number 4 is Vancouver. I don't really know what all to say about Vancouver. Honestly, they're another team that is pretty good. They're probably going to be in the playoffs. They got 21 points right now. They're 7 points back in first place, but 21 points would be good enough to put them in second place in the East. So they're definitely a good team. Defensively, they've struggled, and they've struggled mightily at times. Need to fix that. But a lot of teams are having defensive problems right now. But most of the teams that seem to be giving up the goals are also the teams that are scoring a lot of goals. So it kind of seems like they're kind of giving up one for another. We'll see how it works out. I still would rather have a team that's solid defensively like Colorado than a team that's going to try to outscore an opponent like Vancouver. And the LA Galaxy head into the break at number 5. The best offensive team in the league, not surprisingly. One of the better defensive teams as well, yet they still find themselves in 5th place. And they haven't lost a game at home. They have 3 draws, which is not the best. You would expect them to pick up, them being the LA Galaxy and the kind of record they have at home in the past, you'd expect them to win a lot more than being 4-3. But still, they're the LA Galaxy. I think they'll pick up points at home on a consistent basis, which is going to be good enough to get them into the playoffs. Again, on the road is where they struggle, and that's why I didn't think that they'd be a Supporter Shield team this season. They seem to always struggle on the road. They have 1 win so far this year on the road, and that's just been their Achilles heel again. So I still think they'll probably be maybe a 2nd or 3rd place team heading into the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to be a Supporter Shield front runner. But again, they'll make the playoffs. San Jose comes in at number 6, and honestly, any team from here on out, 6 through 10, could make the playoffs. Yes, all the way down to Houston, maybe they could make the playoffs. Unlikely, but still they have a shot. Just because all the rest of the teams, all 5 of the rest of the Western Conference, it's a crapshoot. They're flip-flopping all over the place. San Jose keeps going up, then coming down. We don't really know what they are. They've scored 16 goals, given up 16 goals. They seem to definitely be the middle-of-the-road team. Never know really what you're going to get. Usually a very, very tight game. So I don't know. If Wondolowski keeps scoring goals for them, they could make the playoffs. Then again, they could go for a complete power outage, not score anything, and fall all the way out. So honestly don't know what the hell San Jose is going to be doing in the playoffs, or if they come to make the playoffs. Right now, riding just like the LA Galaxy, riding a superb home record. Haven't lost a game at home, 5-0-2. Looking really good at home, on the road. Haven't won a game. So maybe it's a California thing. Though then again, maybe it's not, because in at number 7 is the Portland Timbers, the defending champions. Haven't won a game on the road either. There are also a team that are riding a very good home record, though they've dropped 2 games at home, losses. Wouldn't have expected that coming from them. They're usually a very, very good home team, but they have 5 wins at home. I mean, they're doing their work at home. So they're defensively though is where they're going to be having a problem, and with players like Ridgewell and Borchers in the middle of that defense, you wouldn't expect that. But you know, they've lost a lot of players. They've lost a lot of players for a defending champion. It was always going to be tough for them to repeat or even come close to the success they had last season. Not happening so far, but don't count them out yet. And just 1 point below the Timbers is Sporting Kansas City, and wow, are they in a free fall. And I believe, let me think, someone did predict that that starting the season super hot, Sporting Kansas City was not going to be that way all season long. And I hate to say this, but I told you so. Sporting Kansas City was very, very lucky early in the season. Some of the wins they got, some of the results were very, very lucky. The luck's not going their way anymore, and they are free falling down the table very, very quickly. They've had emergency meetings, hasn't helped. They've rotated players, hasn't helped. I don't know what they're going to do to turn the season around. I do still think that they're good. I do still think they're a talented team, but honestly, I don't think they know what the problem is. I don't know what the problem is either. One of the problems is they're not scoring goals, one of the lowest goal scoring teams in the league. Defensively, they're still all right, but they just can't put the ball in the net right now. There's some kind of weird thing going on there. I don't know how to explain it. It just seems like their chemistry is off. Morale seems to be a bit down, and I don't know how they're going to turn that around. In at the number 9 spot is the Seattle Sounders, and honestly, I don't know. I don't know. I'm a Sounders fan, in case you hadn't noticed. I've watched every game this season. I don't know. I don't know what to think of them. Still a very good team at home. They haven't gotten a draw. They only have 1 draw all season. They've won 4 and lost 3 at home, though. Not the best. On the road, they just picked up their first win, and by all accounts, best performance of the season. I think at home or away, it was their best performance. They went on the road to DC United, and they won a match. And they won it convincingly, I would say, for one of the first times this season, certainly the first time on the road. So there is hope. I do think there is still a chance they could very well turn this thing around. They're 4 points out right now, 4 points back of San Jose. Like I said, don't know what San Jose is going to do. I honestly don't. And Seattle still has a designated player spot available if they go out and get a player. And I don't know if it needs to be an attacker necessarily. They're one of the lowest goal scoring teams in the league, only have 13 goals in 13 matches, but they have Morris, they have Dempsey. If they can get those two to play together, that's one of the biggest problems. I don't think that they're really getting that chemistry yet. Maybe still needs a little bit more time. Maybe it just won't work. I'm not sure yet. They still need to figure out how to get those two to play well together, but I still think there's a chance. There is definitely a chance that Seattle could turn this thing around. They've shown signs of turning it around, and then they kind of fall off again. So if they can figure it out and put it together, they could still be a playoff team. And in the last place spot in the Western Conference is Houston, and they've already lost their coach. He went to coach Blackburn Rovers. I honestly, they started so good. They started so good. So you know the attacking talent is there. They've gone out and blown people away. You know that they can score goals. Inconsistently, yes, but they definitely have what it takes to score those goals. Defensively, they're not awful. They've only given up 22 goals. That's about middle of the road for the MLS. So should they be in last place? Probably not. They've been a bit unlucky at times. I think that, again, it's one of those teams where the morale is down. They lost their coach after a good start to the season. They've fallen off. They're looking for answers. Are they going to find them? Maybe. If they do, they could be a playoff team. Honestly, like I said, 6 through 10 could all make the playoffs. Any one of those teams could make the playoffs. So I don't think that they're out of it yet, but I do think they're probably the longest shot to make the playoffs at this point. But that is going to be it for this one. Those are just my opinions. As always, let me know what your thoughts are down below. What teams do you think are in the top right now that might fall out, or teams that are at the bottom that could turn it around and make the playoffs. Always interested to see what you guys have to say. But that is going to do it for this one. If you did enjoy it, make sure to let me know by leaving a like below. Subscribe if you're new, and I will see you when we come back for some more Major League 90. See ya.